Hello, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. After just a little bit of a hiatus, it's been, how long has it been? 3 weeks? I don't know. It's been too long, basically. It's been a little bit too long. What is happening, Tavern?
Pointing to the people that took time off.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? The vacations are necessary, and it had been a while, and what can I say? It's important to take some time off every now and then, but I'm really glad to be back, and I'm really happy to see those of you in the chat who are in the chat already. Little early birds over here. Well done, well done. So today, very exciting news. We have a super fun special guest in the name of Andrew from the Black Tower podcast. Andrew!
Not that guy.
Andrew!
Not that guy.
So,
Beard is here.
yeah, we got the never fear the beard is here. All right. So what we usually do is let the guests introduce themselves because we don't know what they want to talk about. Like, they might have some projects going. We want them to plug themselves hard though. Okay, Andrew, so plug away.
Hello, my name is Andrew, and I too am a Wheel of Time addict. Shocking, I know.
I can't believe
I'm
that.
from the Black Tower. I know, right? I'm from the Black Tower podcast. We do full spoiler topic-based discussions entirely about the Wheel of Time. So that is always fun. I always enjoy it, at least. I don't know about everybody else. But everybody is nice about it if they don't, so that's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like really crazy big coming up, just normal episodes.
Are you going to be at Jordan Con?
I will be. All three of us will be.
Nice.
In force. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. And Daniel's not flying a certain unnamed airline this time, so he won't show up with an hour and a half left in the first day.
Wait, what happened last? Wait.
Yeah, I didn't get that
What
story.
airline is this that we need to know because I would like to know to not get on there.
Oh, I would never say the actual name of the airline, but if I was going to make up a name of an airline, let's just say Spirit Airline as a made-up example.
Crap! I've been looking at them lately.
Yeah, he was supposed to get there Friday and got delayed and didn't show up until like 2 p.m. Saturday.
What?
Oh, that sucks.
Like he literally walked into the hotel and he had 15 minutes, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go live with Dusty Will from the lounge area."
God.
He was like, "Okay,
Let's go. Let's do it.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I know the airlines have been kind of crazy with cancellations and stuff lately, so everybody cross their fingers and toes that doesn't happen to anybody going to Jordan Con, because that would be really sad. But we'll just send good vibes everybody's way, and that won't happen. So Andrew, anything else you want to plug before we introduce ourselves briefly?
I mean, WatCon's coming up in July, so WatCon.com for all that fun stuff. I may be a little biased, but it's going to be a great time. And yeah, if you want to find out any of the Black Tower stuff, yeah, just blacktowerpod.com. That'll get you everything you need from us.
Heck
and
yeah.
more, probably.
And Andrew's, the Black Tower deets and links and whatnot are in the description of this video. Jessica Sadai with $10 in Super Chat. Yay for Wheel and Chill. And Andrew, cheers. Cheers, Andrew. I've got like a water cup, but whatever. Cheers, cheers. There you go. Oh, the Wheel and Chill mug. I love it.
Listen, Jessica.
I need to get one.
Jessica, you don't have to pay for saying that I'm your favorite. I'm just saying. It's okay. They just have to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We do like Tavern, so everybody has their favorites. Not a problem. The competitive side of me hates it, but I get it. It's fine.
Well, in the infamous words of Joe, my favorite Will and Chill member is definitely here right now.
I like it. I like it.
It's the best. It's the best answer ever.
Kev in the chat is asking for extra good flight vibes going Perth to Singapore to Tokyo to LA to Atlanta. Holy. Oh, wow. That is an adventure. Wow. Dedication. Well done. Looking forward to meeting you, Kev. That's amazing. And
It's like a
Where is Perth? Perth? Where is that?
It's Australia,
Australia.
isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that's Australia. Okay, so Andrew's introduction's being done. Again, his deets are in the description of the video on YouTube, and or at least they should be after the fact if they aren't there already. Let's just knock our own introductions out of the way. This is the Wheel and Chill Show. We've got 3 co-hosts. We're here every time that we actually manage to get on when we're not on vacation. And I'll start with myself. I'm Kritter XD. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I am on YouTube and Twitch. And I'm helping plan WatCon. I'm one of the social media people. So if you see some hilarious memes, you better believe I at least was part of that. I at least edited it, if nothing else. And let's see, what else? I'm very excited also for JordanCon. I'm getting ramped up. I'm working on my cosplays. They're all of them incomplete.
Plural?
2. I got 2.
Oh, cool.
There was an S there, yeah.
Technically, I don't have any right now because they're not done yet. One of them is so close, so close. I basically just have to spray paint something, which is going to be great. And it's a big something, and then I have to figure out how to fit it in my luggage. It's my bow. It's my fake bow. Currently, it's multicolored, and I need it to be silver for reasons.
Nice.
So we're going to have to spray paint that. And then the other one, my Leandrin, doesn't have pants. We're going to figure that one out, too.
I think we all thought Leandra didn't have pants.
I'm not sure we do, Tavern, but yeah. Danaluhu, thank you for reminding me. I switched Tavern around. It's wherever he shows up in the Discord is where it's kind of random every time, and I always forget to switch him. But thank you for the reminder.
I didn't know I had a spot.
Yeah, Silverbow baby. Okay, so that's me. I'm everywhere. If you don't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube or follow me on Twitch because that's where we are. That's where the Wheel of Chill show shows up. If it's not every week, it's every now and then. Usually, it's definitely every week during the Wheel of Time show, whenever that's going to be next. So, Winespring, why don't you introduce yourself?
That's me. I'm Winespring. Right here.
It is.
My website is winespringcafe.com. Check it out.
Make some good food.
That was your intro today?
Yep.
I love it. That's fast, efficient. That's all you need. Tavern, why don't you hit us up with your deets?
Mine's not going to be fast and efficient. I'm just going to say that right now.
Okay, that's okay.
Perrin Tavern.
Go hard.
I design merch. I TikTok. I started Instagramming. I am a collector, a rescuer of Wheel of Time books. I'm at
I love that.
24 extra copies of various books now. So
Oh my gosh.
if I see them in a thrift store, they get picked up. And I recently designed something, and I had it made and shipped to me. And I'm going to what's the word when you show something for the first time? What is that?
Debut.
Premiere? Debut. Reveal it. So give me 1 second, so that you can see my new merch.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, he's taking it off, Tavern.
Hey, hold on. It was getting hot as shit.
Inspired by the pantsless Leandrin.
it's an after dark stream today. Okay, what do we got?
New merch that will be on the store.
You are kidding
me.
me.
A Gwee Go Pop Baby Trolloc shirt will be up on the store pretty soon. You're welcome. After the show tonight, it will be on Redbubble.
Why? That is so horrible. The Trolloc is actually really cute, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, Baby Trolloc, a Gwee Go Pop.
That is silly as shit. Sorry. Excellent. Okay, well, that's lovely. Go see.
And there's a good chance that things have changed and I may be at WatCon.
Yeah, that's exciting. The baby Trolloc is adorable, Danaluhu. I completely agree with that. Jessica Sedai in the chat says, "I nailed it." with that shirt.
Kritter won't say it. She won't say it.
I'll never say it.
She'll just say she said, "I nailed it," but she ignored the first part of that sentence.
You're right, because it's not worthy of my time. Okay. All right. So today, I didn't actually say what we're going to talk about today. But before I do, we have a few really fun announcements today. I'm going to start with a like one that's JordanCon / WotCon specific, because that's what we've been talking about so far. First of all, Winespring and I, and Andrew, we already said that, but we're going to be at JordanCon, right? Pretty exciting. Today, I ordered the little, what are they? The ribbons! I ordered a Wheel and Chill, like a bunch of Wheel and Chill ribbons, so it's...
Have the image to show them?
I don't know.
I mean, surprise them. What?
You're gonna love it as long as it comes in on time, because I literally just ordered them. But they're supposed to, so we'll see. But if you are a fan of the Wheel and Chill show and want a ribbon, then come say hey, and I'll be slinging them out at JordanCon. So it's very exciting. Howdy, Wolf Brother. Welcome to the chat. All right, so that was announcement number 1. And yes, Redbubble, Jessica said that's where Tavern's store is, or one of his stores. He's also on the mugs. If you want a mug, is on Zazzle. So, and what's lovely about Zazzle is it runs sales all the time. If you get on their little text, notification alert thing, every now and then it's like 40% off, which is ridiculous. So,
yeah, I've got to get myself a mug still.
Yeah, you do. All right, so we're here for a very specific reason today, okay? We have had a series of Wheel and Chill episodes throughout these last several months where we take a character or characters and break them down, compare their book selves with their show selves, and then kind of speculate about what all these changes and like where they're at the end of the season and what that means for next season and beyond. So I've had a lot of fun doing this. We've tried to stay limited, so we haven't talked much yet about the 2 people we're doing today, and those 2 people are Matt and Perrin. So let's fucking go. I shouldn't curse. Anyway, at least that bad. I'll get demonetized.
It's too early.
It's too
early in the algorithm.
It's too early.
Pat.
Yes.
Is
So
that where we're going?
What?
Their ship name is Pat.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, Parrot.
Parrot?
I kind of like that. Like Miguel and Tulio. Yeah, both. Both is good. We're doing both, Matt and Perrin. And you know what? We are going to start... We decided before this stream who we're going to start with, and the answer to that is Perrin! We're starting with Perrin! Yay! So, Andrew has a big beard. Andrew, how do you feel about Perrin in season 1 of the Wheel of Time?
Oh, I've said it before. I'll say it again. They found a way to take Book 1 Perrin and have him do even less in the show.
Yep, I would
very
agree.
much enjoyed him.
Not wrong.
It's still very good. Marcus Rutherford is absolutely fantastic, amazing, worthy of all the Man Crush Mondays. But but yeah, I wanted to see a little bit more apparent, especially given some of the changes they made to his kind of origin and motive. But yeah.
So that is
Which motive?
Sorry.
Which motive are you referring to?
So his whole motive for the conflict between the axe and the hammer. So, I mean, I am a bigger fan of the book motive there. I understand the change for the TV show. I don't think the change pays off enough to warrant the change, but I don't hate the change.
And this change being the fact that he killed his wife in episode 1, a wife that didn't even exist in the books. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page here. That's the change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have an image for that somewhere. Tavern, what were you saying?
I don't know why I'm being vague.
There's another little, I wouldn't say too little, but big. I would say a big change, right, from the Perrin in the books to the show, and that's in regards to the axe and the hammer, and the hammer referencing his blacksmithing and Master Luhan and how Master Luhan taught him, and the fact that he's bigger than everybody, so he's more patient and he likes to think things through. That didn't get conveyed in the show. In the show, it just looks like he's kind of dumb and kind of brooding, which is sad. We're moving around the screen again.
I'm sorry. I'm taking Danilu's comments to heart, making sure you're on the left side of the screen. Ignore me.
Enjoying the ride.
But yeah, it's just weird. It's not the same, methodical Perrin from the books. Guess
Yeah.
is what I'm getting at. He doesn't come off as methodical.
That's fair. I guess in the books they do say, right, that a lot of people like think that he is slow, like in that
Right.
way. And so I guess the show, if that's kind of the vibe that you were getting from him in the show, maybe
I guess, yeah, from
that
a
was
different
kind of
person's perspective.
intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because we're looking at it from different people's perspectives, instead of inner monologue. So yeah, you're right.
Right. It could be.
I just felt bad that he kind of going that route with him. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that he had like major contemplative vibes. And so the result kind of from him killing his wife was the fact that he was very averse to violence throughout the first season. So much so that whenever he was talking to the Tinkers about the Way of the Leaf, it really seemed like he was considering it, you know? Like at first he's making fun of the vegetarian soup, or not really making fun of it, but like, you know, whatever, giggling about it. And then he's like talking to Isla, right? That's her name, Isla. And just kind of buying in, and you don't really see him be violent for the rest of the season. And so for me, that was kind of like a sign that he is indeed contemplating something, and he's quiet and he's being methodical about whether or not he's ever going to pick up another weapon. So we'll see how that results in season 2.
We know from season 1, once they got to Faldara, that he did kind of buy into it because they're sitting at the table and he's telling Rand all about the Way of the Leaf, you know, and what they ate and all this stuff. So that did sink in with him. I think he fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So I guess on the show, that's the motivation between the Way of the Leaf and then him killing his wife. I don't know. It's again, not bad, just different.
I think it's bad. I think it was a really bad choice.
Right.
I think the showrunner should have done better, and I think Robert Jordan would be ashamed of that.
Wow.
that a
Perrin?
woman was
Of the Perrin thing?
created just to die is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean, oh, go ahead, Andrew.
It seems like the contemplative part about Perrin, which for me is more of what I enjoy about Perrin, this logical, methodical, contemplative, kind of trying to look at everything from all angles, is what drew me to the character of Perrin.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of that in season 1 got sacrificed in order to pursue this aversion to violence, because he had to kill Layla Abara to then be drawn to the Way of the Leaf. I'm like, oh, okay, these people live
It's lazy.
without violence.
It's lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
super lazy.
and then that gives rise to allowing him to do nothing for the rest of the season, and to just stand there. Like, the closest he gets to violence again is whenever we tackle another aspect that's just weird to me. I don't love it. The love triangle.
Yeah.
Closest he gets to violence again is when he bows up the Rand, and I'm like, that's not my Perrin.
Yeah.
100% not. The thing is, whole Layla thing, it could have stuck with the original story, waited a few more episodes till they got captured by the White Cloaks. He kills a White Cloak. She's never killed somebody before, and still have that issue without having, like Winespring said, creating a female character just to kill in the first episode. It still could have happened. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was a shortcut, right? Like, I would have preferred the earlier version of the script. I don't know if it's like official or whatever, but we've heard that it was originally going to be Master Luhan that he killed. And like, if he has to kill somebody, great. Like, make it a guy. Like, the fridging is a trope for a reason, and it's like, it's a harmful trope, you know?
It's lazy.
It's so
lazy.
it could have been. It could have gone differently. I'm not sure if they would have had him kill a White Cloak without the benefit of his internal dialogue, if that would have been as effective in communicating
True.
his motives, because people hate White Cloaks. And seeing one die, like, a lot of people wouldn't just be like, oh, he's probably torn up about it. They're probably like, nice, I hated that guy. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be a White Cloak. You can just write in that in all of the fighting, he's averting all the fighting because he's afraid to fight, right? Or he's scared, and then bring up the fact that he got cornered and he had to do something and he fought and he killed somebody. That was trauma enough, right? I can see where if it's a White Cloak, it's kind of like
good riddance
here or there. So Wolf Brother brought something up. He said Jordan also created a whole culture that enslaves women. I'm like, we're talking about
Which one is that?
Yeah, is it the Shanshan or is it the? Because if you're talking about the Shanshan, it's not so much women; it's channelers. It just happen to be women, right? Because if there were male channelers and things were reversed, culture may have done the same thing with male channelers. Who knows? But I mean, I would say it's the Shanshan. Unless we're talking about the Shara, they have a whole weird thing.
I mean,
there.
I don't know if that's like gender based, the Sharans, and
I
plus
don't-
we
I
did.
don't even- I don't think
The
so
Sarans
either.
would be opposite.
Yeah, well, and that wasn't.
The Sarans are the ones that use male channelers as breeding stock. So
Oh yeah.
Not to mention
Yeah,
that
there you
wasn't
go.
Robert Jordan, unless that was in his notes. Like that came way later. Speaking of, this is a full spoiler stream, everybody. If you didn't know that, now's
Yeah.
the time to know.
Right there.
Yeah. So I think Kev made a good point. He said, "I think it was an efficient plot device, but a fridge is a fridge and should have been avoided." I think that's exactly the right take. Like it did the thing
Easy.
they did the thing they wanted it to do, which is show people who didn't read the books that Perrin has an internal struggle with his animalistic side, right? He goes into berserker mode and he now is afraid of that side of himself. And we get the internal dialogue while reading, and so that's clear to us, even though he never killed anybody in the Two Rivers. And so, yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess it happened, it is what it is, but I think almost everyone probably would have preferred something different. So,
I mean, part of what made like him killing the White Cloaks in the book so impactful is how thoughtful and contemplative Perrin is.
yeah.
So again, yeah, it's that internal dialogue, which is it's hard to bring to the screen, but no, I'd agree. Like, given where Perrin ends up by the end of season 1, it's an effective plot device.
Yeah, I mean, technically, by the time he killed the White Cloak in the books, he had already, gotten most of his wolf other stuff, and he was also battling that, right? Whether to let this animal rage that's inside of him come out, as well as the axe and the hammer and all of this other stuff, and that's why his brain was so busy, because he was, you said, contemplating all of these things. You just don't get that in the show for sure.
Yeah, there was like one moment where they kind of showed it, and the walking, and you see that like pole kind of going through his head. There was a clear link,
during the dream.
you know?
the imagery.
I think that's like it. That's the only
dream
thing that really
sequence, yeah.
kind of conveyed it.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about the White Cloaks, and how, I mean, that scene was a little different, right? He didn't end up killing any White Cloaks, and he was freed by Egwene, and then she ended up stabbing Valda, right? He didn't have really much to do with that situation other than to be tortured in front of her, which is different
And
than the books.
punking the daylights out of Valda.
Right. And so that makes me think Valda's still alive, because he's the only one that's seen Perrin with his golden eyes, right? And if the White Cloaks are going to have a vendetta against him going forward, which I hope, because I like that dynamic in the books,
Yeah.
he's going to, the North is going to have to remember that shit. So, yeah, sorry. I'm all over the place today.
Do you think they're going to
Bring
keep
it,
the
Kritter.
flickering of the eyes, where the eyes are only CGI gold when he's using his Wolf Brother abilities, as a way to save maybe on the CGI budget a little bit?
It could be. I just wish
mean,
they
it
would
could-
use contacts.
That's the thing.
I just wish they would use contacts. It might be possible. Like, we've talked about this. Daniel Radcliffe couldn't wear contacts, and Harry Potter was supposed to have green eyes, like Lily's eyes, and instead he's a blue-eyed guy. And that's just how it is in the movies, because that's how it has to be.
Has Marcus just not let us know he can't wear contacts?
No.
I don't know if that's the case or not.
But yeah.
Marcus,
clue.
can you wear contacts? Marcus,
You're watching
can
the
you
show
wear
right now,
contacts?
I know.
Comment in the comment
live
section.
chat.
Oh yeah, during the
Brother
live chat.
7 is actually Marcus, and let us know right now.
Yeah. So yeah, yellow contacts would be my choice. I'm wondering if it's going to be like flickery for a while, and then it'll settle in once maybe he becomes more familiar and like in tune with his abilities.
Yeah, because the way they're going about, and the way they're going about introducing us Perrin and his abilities has been slow and very odd to me. Right?
Okay.
It's almost almost invisible. Like, if you don't really pay close attention, when he's walking down the dirt road with Egwene, and he hears a snap, which makes him turn around. You have to hear Egwene saying, "Perrin, what is it?" But her voice is muffled, which is the only thing that tells us that he's hearing something in a different way. It was so quick that it wasn't prominent, just like the seeing of the stone in the dark. Right?
Yeah, that definitely.
And when they escaped, and he looks at the wolf and he goes, "Oh, he's not going to hurt us."
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Tell me.
So they I don't think they've done a good enough job of leading to it. And to start it off, they started off with him looking at his bloody leg, and a pack of wolves shows up. One of them comes up and licks his wound and then takes off, and they all take off. I'm like, please don't tell me they're going the werewolf route, because that would be really shit, right? So, and I just think it's they haven't done a good job on bringing his change to light.
I'm hoping for, now that we have the Elias casting, I don't think it's been officially announced by the show, but it's like pretty much that's what's happening. I think now that we know that Elias is going to be in season 2, we're going to get more Perrin development, and I'm hoping the flickering into permanent golden eyes things is the way that it goes. Somebody, let's see, said that you have to have prescription contacts for that to work, for it to not damage your eyes, but I feel like that's possible. Like, they could probably get prescription contacts pretty easily. This is a big budget Amazon Prime show.
I don't know.
Look at all the money they spent on
Amazon,
L'Oreal's
I don't know if they can afford it.
Yeah. And somebody else also said, like, I would be disappointed if the Gold Knights didn't become permanent. Whoa. What was that?
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
My bad.
And somebody else said Lord Golden Eyes will seem weak if the eyes are only golden once a week. Somebody says if it never becomes permanent, he isn't Golden Eyes. And so there's, like, granted, like, there are certain things that fans want that just aren't going to happen. I feel like this is one thing that can happen. Do you guys agree that they'll be permanent? Andrew, you asked the question, but circling back to you, do you think it's going to happen?
I mean, I think it's too easy of a thing to keep and to make happen for it to not happen.
Yeah.
And I do have faith in the team still. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Lord Golden Eyes, baby, let's go. Hopefully Elias shows up and he's just got what?
Maybe let's go.
I mean, they already made me happy. They knocked
like the
Aaron to the
maybe.
ground, so I was pretty happy.
Maybe Elias will just roll in and have golden eyes all the time, and that'll resolve the question for us. Like, we'll know what's coming, you know? That's possible.
Yes.
That would be cool. I'd be okay with that.
That would be cool. Thanks for stopping by, Kev. Gotta get that booster. It's good for you. I guess it's like daytime for you, right? Lord Semi-Permanent Golden Eyes. That's a good way to sign off, Kev. Okay, so we think let's do a pair. All right, so I think that's all.
This is not the flicker you're looking for.
Yeah, there are other flickers in the Wheel of Time that we would prefer. Okay, so that's the love triangle. We mentioned it, but that's another big difference. And by big difference, I mean hopefully thing that was for season 1 to get people hooked and will go away forever. How did you guys feel about the love triangle that came to a head in episode 7?
It happened.
It did happen. It did indeed happen.
I was generally fine with it, especially once one of the earlier drafts of Rafe's kind of screenplay for episode 1 came out, and it kind of helped explain some of the Lila Barra feeling awkward or seeming to be a little awkward. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I kind of get it. You know, sometimes, how many times have people been friends and it's been like people like, oh, I thought you were dating. No, we're just friends. What I didn't like was the almost brawl between Rand and Perrin. I was like, these guys are definitely bros before love kind of guys. Like they're not gonna hop into a fight over this kind of
That's
stuff.
one way to put it.
I think they'd be more likely to just
A
all
PC
get
way to
together
put it.
and have a yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they wouldn't fight over a girl. Also, just like the way Rand reacted to it was kind of like, how have I not seen this before? Like, it's right in front of my eyes. It's like, no, it's not, because Perrin and Egwene are friends. Like, chill out.
I just love Nynaeve's
wheel
oh shit look.
turns.
Right
The whole
now.
soap opera
But
has the wheel
she
turn.
says it and is immediately like, "Oh no."
Why did I do that?
I love when she does that.
Just shit. Egwene's probably pissed.
Hagrid moment. I shouldn't have said that.
Literally. Danalu says it's not really a triangle, just a Perrin crush, and that's kind of,
Yeah. It kind of turned into a triangle there for about minutes of screen time.
I love Square with Gawain.
Oh, God.
We don't talk about Gawain, Wolf Brothers 7. He is not
We
welcome
don't bring his name up in here. That's blasphemy.
until he gets cast.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the
Sauce
new t-shirt
packet boy.
idea.
We don't talk about Gawain. Do it. Oh my
Oh, not
god.
that.
Oh,
Not that, but that's another one.
that's a great one. I would get that one. Little tank top with like, I don't know what the image would be, but it would be hilarious.
Oh, the other
Tavern
one I
will
just
do
thought of
it.
was
He's got it.
Do a
image
character of
uh,
Garwin, but with like a sensor bar over the eyes.
Nice.
Yes.
I was gonna do a character of Perrin, and it says "Stay golden, please."
Oh my
Please.
god. That's pretty good.
Oh.
That's pretty hilarious.
I would love to see Marcus Rutta, like, what? Yeah.
That's his
English.
handle.
I'd
Yeah.
love to see yeah, I would love to see Marcus drawn in cowboy bebop style, and it just says "Stay golden, Wolf Boy."
That would be
Okay.
really cool, actually.
Got it.
Just taking notes. Just
I'm about to
jotting them
spend
down.
a whole paycheck over on Redbubble.
I know, that's too good. Gianna Calver comments a triangle means they're both competing for Egwene at the same time. That never happened. Exactly. We don't care about this love triangle. It is in the past. I hope that it's just done now. Although I guess if like Rand's going off into the wilds and like Moraine's supposed to tell them that he died? Is that right? Or isn't that what
He didn't make it. That he didn't. Oh God, what was the terminology? It was just. It was kind of like when Rand asked Min, "Do I make it back, or do I, or whatever?" And she gives him I forgot what her answer is. It's not a no. It's a very open way of saying, don't come back as yourself, or you're going to change while you're there. So it's not the you that's coming. That's how I got it from what she said. So when she tells tell them I'm gone or something is what he said to her, to Moraine.
Yeah. And then whenever Lan asked where he was, she said he's gone, I believe. Like, he's gone.
Right.
So it's kind of incredibly ambiguous in the sense that we also don't know if she can lie yet, you know? Because it's very ambiguous.
Technically, that's not lying
It's
because
not lying.
he is gone.
Beth Weston enters the chat. What up, Beth?
Oh no,
Beth is one of my members on YouTube and a patron. We love it when Beth enters the chat. We're so happy that you're here.
I know Beth Weston. Fantastic.
Beth Weston is what? Royalty. What can I say? It's just true. It's just true. She's everywhere.
Loyalty.
Both. So let's see. That's about it for Perrin's differences, because we're going to talk about Perrin and Matt here. So basically, the second part of Perrin's time is we're going to talk about what the hell's going to happen next, right? And we've touched on Elias being there. He's been cast, according to Watt series, and I believe Watt series. Trust them with my life. So it's kind of like, is Elias going to show up soon? Is Perrin going to hunt the horn, and Elias is going to be the sniffer? Predictions. Tavern. What are your predictions?
I'm there with you. I think that in the changes that have been made for the show in reducing the amount of characters that we have to introduce or whatnot for time or whatever, that it might mention sniffers, and we're not going to get Huron, but they might mention sniffers and realize that Perrin might be a sniffer based on what he can do. So I think we're going to not have Huron, but like you said, Perrin will take up the role of sniffer, and it'll be okay with the Shurnins because they're used to that shit.
Yeah. Andrew, do you think we're going to get Elias earlier or later in the season?
I think it'll be at least episode 3.
Okay.
I do kind of agree with though it's not what I would prefer, but I don't see how else they would do it with the way season 1 ended. It probably will be Perrin that is, chasing after the mysterious under the throne box. What could be inside? And then
No one
maybe
knows.
en route, yeah. maybe en route, that's when they come across Elias. I mean, there's all kinds of like ideas that would be cool, kind of what ifs that we as the fans would enjoy. Like if they still incorporate portal stones, and somehow Perrin goes into one and he finds Elias in a mirror world and brings him back with him. Things like that could be interesting, but I don't know that they will.
This would be weird, but what if they, instead of Huron, they bring in Elias?
Well, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. That's what I said at the very beginning. Lee Science actually said Sniffer may be code for Wolf Brother. Yeah, like the Shinarans might be familiar with Elias, and they might like, I don't know, maybe Elias. What are we laughing about?
No, I just stole your idea. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Well, I did say it earlier.
I was in La La Land. I was writing stuff down and I didn't catch your whole thing. So I'm sorry.
It's fine. Like, and the thing is I would like to see Elias like Wolfman, like Wilderness Elias. So hopefully they like track him down as a consultant or something, and he's not just like. I'm just saying he's not just like in Shinar at the beginning, and so I could see him coming in later in the season. I don't know. Like I'm just using terminology I'm familiar with.
It's perfect.
Just want him to like take out a white cloak or something, and then just like sit on top of them with his big Bowie knife and be like, "So, you want to catch a criminal, do you?"
Do ya?
That's not a knife.
I mean, when you think about them like collapsing down some roles, collapsing Sniffer into Wolf Brother actually makes a lot of sense for a TV show.
It does.
We already get the comparison from the books with, okay, we're gonna sell you as a Sniffer, even though you're not. But
and it helps bring Perrin's growth into light, right? Because now he has a mentor that he can,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Man, a lot of people in the chat are thinking that Elias is going to show up only to die. Granted, to become Perrin's mentor in the Wolf Dream instead of Hopper, which would make more sense because, there's an argument that wolves talking, like, to make that happen on screen could be cheesy. I'm not the one who said it. I've heard it though. Some people are saying that might be cheesy. So it could work if like Elias is the one instead of Hopper. Don't get me wrong though. I love Hopper and I want Hopper in the Wolf Dream. I need that. Like I feel like some scenes with Hopper were like the most emotional scenes in the whole dang series. Although
it would be cool if they bring Hopper, if they do that, right, where Elias is the one that dies and goes into the Wolf Dream, or whatnot. It would be cool if they bring in Hopper as almost like Game of Thrones with the werewolves, where he's a partner to Perrin and he kind of follows Perrin, but at a distance and he only comes when he needs it, that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Because if they don't have Hopper, rioting. I'm gonna tell you right now.
We have to have Hopper. Still a fridging, says Aelthos BC. Yeah, like
not wrong.
Elias could be the wolf translator in the dream. Yeah, I mean, if we could get Elias and somebody else, like that could be cool. I don't want like. And there's also the issue of like colorism, right? Because I feel like the actor who's playing Elias is like one of the darker actors in the show, and so far
is he darker than the guy playing Eamon Valda?
Well, the point is, like, all of the darkest people in the show are bad guys.
Yeah,
you've got Fane, you've got Valda, and now we're getting Elias, which is amazing. And if they end up just killing him immediately, like it's not a good look. Like, but great.
That would be that would be a Hollywood trope.
A huge failure.
Goes back generations. Yes, it would be horrible.
But like
a little more than slightly problematic.
Oh, little more. Granted, if he shows up in the Wolf Dream and he's a persistent character throughout the show, that like softens the blow a little bit, but he's still dead. So I would prefer living Elias personally and taking Hopper in the Wolf Dream. But I guess we'll see how they do it.
You're basically saying he would become a Force ghost?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they strike me down here, but I will return stronger than ever before.
Yeah, so we think Perrin's going to chase the horn. Whether he becomes the horn blower, I hope not, because I feel like Matt's arc is very kind of dependent on that, right? Kind of.
Let Donald toot.
Let Donald toot.
Yes.
Or doot. Let Donald doot.
Okay.
No, toot is pretty good.
Let
Donald doot.
Let Donald. Well, has anybody seen Almost Heroes?
No.
Nope.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, so
What are that?
I know somebody in the chat has to have seen Almost Heroes. It is a classic Chris Farley, Matthew Perry movie, I think. And
Never heard of it. Holy cow!
okay,
I love those two.
it's old.
wild.
I mean, don't get me. It's from my childhood, I think. And one thing that they do is like there's this gauntlet that somebody has to run. You know, there's like just flaming swords flying, and they have to run it or whatever. And at the very end, they're like running through this gauntlet, and there's a bed of what would be coals, but it's corn. And somebody goes, "Ooh's ideas, the corn," and then there's a horn that blows, and it's literally like, burr, burr. So whenever you said "let Donald toot," that's what it reminded me of. Don't ask me why. I have to give you an.
Great story.
So yeah, and he's like, "I thought you said corn," and he's like, "No, I said coal," and he's got an accent. Go watch Almost Heroes if you haven't seen it. It's pretty solid. And
Luke IS Jedi is saying, is it about Lewis and Clark?
yeah, it is.
There you go.
Oh wait, I have seen that.
There you
Oh wow,
go.
it's been a
I
very
have
long
not.
time. That's old.
So don't say that. Why did you say
I
that?
haven't. I'm sorry. I was 5 in '98. I apologize.
Oh, Jesus, I'm not even gonna say how
I
old
am
I
a
was.
child. I am an innocent, sweet child.
I'll just say that I was also a kid, but I got a major kick out of it, and if you haven't seen it, it's pretty funny. It's probably, you know what, I actually don't know how well it's aged, so I'm going to say, I'm not going to endorse it. I'm just going to say for like an experiment, you should go check it out and report back and let me know if it holds up.
Say my-
Let me know if it holds up.
My 23-year-old daughter was born in that year.
Okay.
That's where I'm leaving that.
So my little brother was born.
Okay. It didn't age well, says Neem Heathrow. All right, well, then again, I am not going to endorse. I'm just going to inform. It has some funny lines, much like, "Ooh's idea is the corn," and that's all I'm going to say.
I just want to hear her say that.
I know. Just tell us more stories, Kritter.
Okay.
Mama Kritter, tell us another story.
No, not right now. We have to move on to Matt. We have to move on to Matt. Please never say that again. It's kind of
I
weird.
just love it.
Mama Kritter story time.
Okay. Other people have seen it. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Jeez, I was like feeling real irrelevant there for a second.
There's a new YouTube channel for you, Mama Critter Storytime.
Yes.
Well, that's what my TikTok is. Like,
And you can tell us about the good old days when they had flip phones.
you know what? My first flip phone. Hold on. My first flip phone was the little silver Nokia one that had a mirror on the back of it. My first phone.
That shit was fancy.
It was.
You can look at yourself.
You could well, yeah,
had
you could look at yourself in a mirror that was this big.
I had the Samsung Clam.
Oh, I remember that.
I'm just picturing. I don't know.
Sounds familiar.
Thank
First
you.
Flip phone was
Mama.
not hanging up with my girlfriend fast enough, and my mom took the phone off the wall and threw it at me. If that counts as flipping a phone or not.
Yeah, I think it counts. All right, we got to move on to Matt.
Depends on the number of rotations.
There you go. Matt. Let's go. So differences between Matt and Perrin. Let's talk about it. All right, so first obvious difference is the fact that his dad is a piece of shit. That's not that big of a deal for, well, I guess it is. I mean, it motivates him, right? That's like kind of his core motivation is that he's like worried he's going to be like his dad.
Motivation, though.
Yeah.
In the books, he kind of like wanted to be like his dad because his dad was a great knew his horses. He was a good quarterstaff fighter. He would win different things, except besides Tam. He could outshoot, so he looked up to his dad in the books. Now in the show, he's a womanizer. He's drunk, I guess. He's a all-around bad dude. So I guess it's a different kind of motivation, but that's a big, huge change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they steal Matt against both of his parents because, I mean, obviously, he's an absolute shite of a person. Not Matt, his dad.
That's the dad.
I was like,
And-
excuse me? No.
Get
And
him.
then mom isn't any better. She's definitely a drunk. She's definitely, assumably rather, an alcoholic. like every time she spoke to Matt, it hurt so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
you sweet summer child, you don't deserve all of this. Like,
Poor
oh, it's so
baby.
bad.
And
And
it
you kind of
wasn't
like,
just him. She cussed at the girls too.
yeah.
He said some nasty things about the girls too, which was just mind-boggling.
Oh yeah. And then like whenever he brings the girls back after the Trolloc attack of Winter Night, and she's like, my baby girls. Or my babies. I think she says
Yeah.
my baby girls. And just Matt's just sitting there like the thing like Barney did a really good job because like you can see that like he's portraying hurt, but also like I'm used to this.
Yeah.
And it's honestly heartbreaking. Like I know like friends that growing up like because their parents either worked a lot or weren't the greatest people at the time, like they wound up having to raise their siblings. And you get the impression that Matt has to raise his siblings. And it's like, yeah, no, no me gusta, no thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's no doubt that his acting was on point. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I was planning this episode in our DM chat, I was like, you know, it'd be hilarious. We should create like a slideshow set to that In the Arms of the Angel, like Sarah McLachlan song for Barney Harris. And then your girl just didn't do it. So just picture, just like picture it. Like I loved Barney Harris. I thought he was an amazing Matt, and I'm sure Donald's going to be amazing. We just haven't seen anything from him other than like blurry Instagram photos that aren't, on set or in costume or anything.
that's weird.
So no confirmation that he's trans yet.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
No confirmation
Okay.
that he's trans.
Donald,
No, it's
a character.
you missed
Well,
Winespring.
not within the show, but yeah.
No, I saw your post.
Barney was
It was
really
like
good.
a lot of them.
Good.
Yeah, Crazy Cat Lady has a good point. Honestly, Matt was a thief in the books if you consider he knew full well he would always win playing dice and still did it. That's kind of the thing that I've constantly said to people. Like, everyone's so pissed that he, like, stole that bracelet in order to buy stuff for his
I didn't have an issue with
sisters.
that.
I didn't have an issue with that at all. It's like, you know what? That's Matt. Like, did it hurt her? No. And he steals
I didn't
money
have
from
an
people
issue-
all the time.
I didn't have an issue taking stuff off the dead Aiel either because Aiel was dead.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to need it.
Yeah.
No issues with that either.
It's just...
Yeah.
It's a tricky
I mean, to me-
situation. That one. It's
It's
more
still
morally...
because
Yeah.
yeah, it still fit with Matt's character. I mean, Matt has always been the like. It may not be what everybody wants to do or thinks you should do, but I'm going to do what needs to be done. So I do like that they established that with the character very early on.
Yeah.
I also like retained a lot of Matt's pride because when
Yes.
Rand and Perrin are like, "Here, buy the girls some lanterns," he's like, we'll be fine."
And he wouldn't take it. Yeah, right. To force
Yeah.
it upon him. And I think the best thing about Matt on the show, which is very reminiscent of the books, that no matter how bad he seems to be doing something, always ends up doing the right thing, the good thing, right? Like even in the middle of throwing up Mashadar mouth, turns around and he turns around and he is just the sweetest human being to that little girl holding the Brigida doll, right? So match it our mouth. Yeah. So that goes back to that little blurb that they had on the Wheel of Time Amazon Prime page where they were saying, oh, he's conflicted about whether he's a good person or not.
Mm-hmm.
They're constantly showing that he is. Deep down, he is a good person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's to me that's in line with the books because he always does the right thing, whether he wants to or not. He ends up doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, I don't know. I don't know if he's always doing the right thing because technically he did steal a bracelet. Like, okay, but he's like allow me to say he is chaotic good. He will do some crazy shit, but ultimately, like he's got good. He's good at heart and he's trying to do the best that he can, like in a positive way. I guess we'll see though. They're clearly the fact that Barney left and Matt stayed behind, which is another difference. Like he didn't go through the Waygate, and man, that was a nuclear bomb on the reading community whenever that happened. It changed things. It made him seem a little less good, right? It made him seem a little more sus than he was before. And so I wonder how much they're going to lean into that. Like, whether he's really actually maybe going to be a bad guy. Because Fane said the same thing. Granted, we can't listen to Fane. He's a liar. He's a bloody liar. But Fane was like, you think you're all going to end up being good guys? Good luck. And so if they end up changing that in the show, oh boy, your girl's going to riot. But, because I love Matt, and I'm going to miss him if he's bad, but...
We touched on this once. Do we think, and I'm going to pose this question again, do we think that, granted, we know that Barney was leaving the show, right? And so maybe he wasn't going to be filming those episodes or whatever. But do we think that Moraine made him stay back because she knew that he wasn't completely healed? That's why we see him going back to Tar-Valon.
I mean, I guess we could find that out in a flashback.
She never intended for him to go with them through the Waygate. I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Like, I know she didn't seem sad when he stayed behind. Also, Brother, thank you for being here. Good night, sleep well.
Now we also did say that at the time Moraine didn't know which one of them was the Dragon Reborn, and so therefore, if she didn't want any one of them coming with her, it would have been Matt, which is why she sent the letter to the Red Aja, and why she didn't seem pleased for him to go with her, because if he was evil or if he was turning bad, she wouldn't want him near them anyways, right? Because she would be basically taking him to the Dark One. As far as her thinking at that moment was.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, it's a tough call.
I don't know, Andrew. Do you think they're gonna lean into evil Matt, or do you think he stayed behind because Barney left, and we're gonna get like book 3 Matt where he's still healing in Tar-Valon, and it turns out he's not totally healed yet?
I don't think we're gonna get evil Matt necessarily. I could see him not being fully healed, which that would give a good impetus for him chasing after Pat and Fane, which could bring him into the situation where now Matt is around the Horn of Valyr. So as I'm talking through that, I like that a lot more, and I hope that's the direction they're going in. Because I initially thought, it's because Barney's not there anymore. They had to figure out a way to deal with not having Barney for shooting Matt. And they were like, okay, well, we'll use this, and now Matt is a good device to introduce the Tricans.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Elaine and Galad, yeah.
Well, Galad is a...
and
Galad is a...
Well, I know he's a damage red.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. No, like the brothers. Like I want to have that stick fight.
Don't talk about the other one.
So bad. I want the stick fight, and I can talk about him because I want Matt to whoop Gawain's ass on screen. Like that's
acceptable.
I want that so badly. So yeah, that would be my hope. And yeah, so Tam Loves Cats mentions the whole Moraine sending the Red Sisters after Matt. I don't know what they can do to him because he can't channel, but that could add an interesting dynamic where maybe they like capture him, and while he's under their like guard, or maybe they have Yellows look at him or something, they realize, well, he can't channel, but he has got this remnant of a remnant of this taint. Well, no, this corruption, this Mashadar mouth that's still in him. It's like the what's the venom? It's like the little. Kind of reminds me of
the symbiote.
The symbiote.
Oh, is that what it's called in Venom? Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not super familiar, but
we established. I mean, that the only reason the Reds were brought into this is because Moraine didn't know if he was a Dragon Reborn or not. So she sent them. It wasn't until after that Ren, like, it's me, right? So she was just being cautious because he wasn't with them. So and somebody had to keep an eye on him, and who better than the Reds to send after a man that could possibly channel.
Yeah.
I like one of the comments in the chat you got here. How can I say the last name easier than the first name? Calavar. I like that it could bring this kind of. We already got like Leandrin as the main red everybody knows, and the rest of the Reds don't exactly like. Yeah, don't seem to have like the best impression. What if they do a little bit of a call between what the Reds are doing to Matt, if they do try to force him to reveal he can channel, and what Valda did to Egwene?
The scrub down thing?
Like the trying to force him to channel.
Yeah.
They're trying to force the channel.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to do the scrub down thing, then I guess, because that was...
Oh, yeah, what I meant was,
psychological,
the forcefully trying to get her to... Right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
A little bit more literally.
That would be bizarre,
Would
but
like to see
whatever.
Donald get scrubbed down, but whatever.
Yeah, that could be an interesting dynamic. Like, I think even though it's not, well, it's like book 3 Matt, so it could correct itself pretty quickly in the show. Like, obviously this deviated pretty significantly from the books, the fact that he didn't even go through the Waygate, but now we can circle back and be like, no, this is we're Matt's back, and even if it's a little different and the Reds torture him or whatever, hopefully we'll get him healed up and then get him on his way to the Horn, fingers crossed. And I've seen several people say this in the chat. We haven't talked about it much, but like, I would love it if Tom followed them to Tarvalin because he knew that's where they were going, I think, and like tried to mentor Matt, because the Tom-Matt dynamic, ooh boy, I loved it. I could do with more of that.
But,
I think they'll resolve that pretty early in season 2.
Like Matt's
That'd be really
Tarvalin moment.
With Tom being in Tarvalin, I would expect to see that. And honestly, it wouldn't shock me to see it in episode 1, but by episode 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, everyone.
right about this time in the books is when Perrin and Matt start feeling the pull toward Rand, right? Starts around book 2 or 3.
I don't actually remember.
They realize that they're constantly drawn to each other, so this also could be a way where Matt starts getting pulled in a direction, and he takes off that way, and comes across Perrin first, right, and Thane and all that. So, but I like the idea that he needs the dagger back, so he would go after Thane that way. That would probably make the most sense.
Yeah, I do wonder if Loyal needs the dagger now that he's been stabbed by it, but...
That was so weird. Explain that shit to me.
What, Andrew?
Random idea. What if Matt's need for the dagger combined with Elaine's kind of sheltered, noble upbringing that resulted in her wanderlust? What if that all couples to bring them out and they wind up in Falma in the search for the dagger? And that's where Liandrin comes in and betrays Nynaeve, Egwene, and Elaine. I could see men being there because, like, okay, where's the best place to be away from Tarwin's Gap? How about the other side of the map?
Yeah.
Sure.
So what if that's how they resolve that arc and kind of bring things back closer to what we're used to from the books?
That could be great. Also, like, Gian Calvar has a good point, too. Like, even if it's not Elaine's Wanderlust, if Liandrin orchestrates the girls' kidnapping from Tarvalin, like she does in the books, and, like, takes them through the Waygates, I think, even then, like, if he finds out that the girls got kidnapped, like, that would be enough motivation for him to go to Falma to rescue them anyways, because even though he doesn't like to be a hero, if he finds out that Egwene got captured...
Or Nynaeve, or
Nynaeve, that would be enough for Matt to,
the emotional impact of Egwene, like, pursuing, going after Matt after, like, the blow up between Rand, Perrin, and Egwene.
Mm-hmm.
About, when Egwene looks back and is like, Matt abandoned us, and Rand getting pissed about it.
Yeah.
I could dig the emotional drama there. Okay.
Lots of drama. But there is some Egwene Matt tension for show. And that's
maybe we'll get another triangle.
Please no. Please no. Agni says hi, by the way.
Kitty cat.
I don't know if you know this, but he is the one that's in my profile picture, my like icon or whatever.
Nice.
There's a little kitty sitting next to me, and that's this one.
On the Kritter,
on the Kritter XD logo. Yeah, this is him. He's the inspiration.
So
I swear he's got part ragdoll in him because he literally will just let
See
you.
the meaning in your life? Is he your inspiration?
Yeah, God dang it! I thought you're killing me, bro.
Where did that come from?
What's your cat's name again?
Yeah, but you're just like voicing my shit.
His name is.
We're connected.
This
Like
one's
a bond.
This one's name is Agni. Agni. So all of our pets have mythological themes. We've
Nice.
got a fish named Jesus. We have Agni. We have Loki. We had Gaia, but my parents adopted her because my big boy Loki did not like her and he bullied her a lot. So now Gaia lives with my parents. But Agni is a Hindu god of fire, and you may recognize the term from Avatar: The Last Airbender because they had Agni Kai, which is firefight. Agni means fire, so because he's orange.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
My dumb ass, when you said, "Oh, all my pets are named after mythological things," we've got a fish named Jesus. I was like, "Who the fuck is Jesus?"
Yeah, we didn't want to call him Jesus because I figured my mom would get mad.
I was like, my brain switched into Spanish, and I was like, "What guy is named Jesus? What the fuck?"
Well, I have one dog, a little pocket pitty that I rescued that lives with my parents now, named Hera.
Nice.
Hell, that's awesome. Hera, that's great.
Kara. Good choice.
And then the last dog I named was named after the Egyptian goddess Isis.
Nice.
And then about 3 months later, that name no longer was really as nice to say anymore.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
Gotta rename.
I didn't think about
So
that.
now I'm very careful. Very careful when I name animals. It can be heralds for bad things, apparently.
Yeah.
We
All
did.
of ours are Star Wars themed.
That's cute.
Nice.
All of them. Anakin, Leia, Obi-Wan, and Mara Jade.
Wow.
Mara Jade.
What is
That's
Cut
pretty.
for Mara Jade.
what is Mara Jade from?
Mara Jade is from the books. That's Luke Skywalker's wife.
Oh, that is a deep cut. Okay, I was like, am I bad? Because I've only watched the movies and I don't
Deep
remember.
cut.
We thought about adopting a little black lab, and we were gonna call him Anubis. So you're Egyptian.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, it was close, but then it was like, we already have too many, so we did not. But
Nice.
DK Moon said, I thought everyone would know Jesus as an Heyzeus.
I saw that.
Jesus.
Who's Jesus?
It's a new cartoon, like Hey Arnold. but with-
Hey Arnold, but with lightning bolts.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of mythological beings, Kritter, you made a TikTok recently
Yep.
talking about Perrin.
Mhm.
We know that Matt is based off of Odin.
Odin, yeah. I'm gonna do another one about
So-
that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, and Perrin was Thor, right?
Perrin was Perun,
Rune, which
which is Thor slash yeah. Yes.
I thought that was interesting. I really loved that one. That was good.
Yeah, I hadn't actually heard of Perun, which is funny because the name is so close. But yeah,
Rune and Perrin, yeah, no shit.
he's got Thor vibes for sure.
Oh yeah.
But oof, just hair
All
everywhere.
right, we're talking.
We're talking about Matt. Let's go. Let's see. So Gian,
We don't have the ravens to give us wisdom and sight, so
it's true.
Yeah, Hugin and Munin.
We are all over the
Hugin
place.
and Munin.
Well, okay, so
Valheim. If that Raven shows up one more time in that game, I'm gonna beat its ass.
I've got a whole theory here from Gian Calvar. I haven't fully read it, but I'm going to give it to you.
For
So,
it.
more Matt ideas. If Matt plus Tom want to try to follow the girls plus Leandrin through the ways, the best chance they have of finding a way into the ways without an Aes Sedai is going to the Ogiers. Gianna Calvar, which is where he could potentially meet Perrin and maybe Rand. I went to like my announcer voice. I hope you guys liked it. That's an
It was
interesting
good.
theory. When you said Perun, my mind did a whole Iron Druid flashback and facepalm of not noticing sooner, Kritter. Yeah, that's what a lot of people said in my comments. I'm not familiar with Iron Druid, but apparently that's a name that's used there, so that's cool. I like that theory though, Gian. That's a cool one. Matt follows him through the ways. I don't know. So much to consider. Matt could literally go anywhere this
Could.
season. There's so many possibilities. But I feel like he has to end up either where Rand ends up or where the girls end up, assuming they end up in different places, right?
Well, I mean, think about. We would love for them to be like the books and all end up in Falma, but if you think about it, look at the Eye of the World, Moraine and Rand, as opposed to the entire group.
Yeah.
So who knows what they're going to change to progress the story along? right?
Mm-hmm.
I try not to think about it.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It hurts. It hurts sometimes. But, I mean,
we've spoke about this before.
yeah, it hurts. But I mean, we got to trust them.
Well,
We got to trust that they're doing the right thing.
I do trust for sure. And it's kind of like this is what we have, you know? And I think it's a better way to look at it is if you look at it wanting to enjoy it. You know, it is going to be different and we'll see how it's different, but it's way more fun if you're just like, I'm going to go into this and it's going to be fun. And instead of going into it like, I hate all the changes. You know, that's just my 2 cents. Andrew, you were saying something.
Go ahead.
I was just going to add some credence to the theory that Matt is still, to some degree, tainted by the dagger. The last visual we see of Matt, he's obviously going back into Tar-Valon. But most people that I know that have talked about it or that I've talked to with it, which isn't an abundant amount because I don't talk to a lot of people because people are scary.
Fair enough.
A lot of people on first glance think that it's like a random cut of, or possibly Matt going back into Shadar Logoth. So they could be, because we know episode 8 really culminated a lot of callbacks. You know, you get the callback to the tale of Manetheren with it starts with an I. I'm so bad with names right now. I had it 5 seconds ago.
Oh,
Agomar's sister.
Oh, Lady Amathera? No,
I was doing this. Starts with an A.
But that's not with an A.
Yeah, her sister.
Amalisa?
Amalisa, thank you.
Amalisa.
Yeah. Sorry, Amathera. Jeez, where'd that come from?
So you get the callback to the story of Manetheren with Amalisa's kind of less glamorous last stand, which, you know, obviously, like, Manetheren's could have been a little exaggerated or altered or missing stories because, you know, they weren't there to correct the inaccuracies. So it could be like a callback to Shadar Logoth being like, everything's not as it seems.
I agree. I mean, I looked at it several times because at first I thought it was Shadar Logoth, and I was like, why would he go back there? But when I looked back at it, it was definitely Tar-Valon.
There's a tower, right, in the background?
Yeah. The buildings weren't torn down. They weren't dilapidated or anything. It looked like Tar-Valon. The other thing with Amalisa burning out the way she did, I'm kind of digging the way they're they do a lot of foreshadowing, like a ton of foreshadowing. So when we finally this is full spoiler, so when we finally get to the Egwene go pop bit at the end of the story, they've already shown us what that's going to look like, except in a lower scale. And I just wanted to say that one more time on stream before Kritter stabbed me in the eye with something.
Yeah, you said you might come to WotCon. You better bring it. You better show up, okay?
Bringing the shirt.
I just got so excited for watching.
I hope you cosplay as a shield maiden. You're gonna need a shield. Holy crap!
We're gonna bring foam spears, and we're gonna go to town.
Foam.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
Lame.
Her silver bow is gonna be real all of a sudden.
Wait, just like what?
I think so.
You guys all saw this last time at JordanCon. It's clearly like it's literally like currently multicolor. It's like I'm trying to think of. It's basically like Lego colors. It's all different colors. So I'm gonna have to like really do some work on it to get it to be silver.
Sand it down first so it sticks better.
That's what my artsy friend who made my little shadow box that's back there that you can't see yet because I need to make my gallery walls. She told me that I need to do that, and I need to do a gloss finish after the fact. So I will be doing that. Hello.
Every time you spray it down, you wanna sand it down a little bit more. But so going back to the foreshadowing, and I was making a joke about the whole thing, but they do that. They've been doing it a lot. So we see Amalisa burn out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Which, again, a smaller scale, we're going to see that later on. There's several things, and I wish I had them written down because I was going to do that before the show, and I forgot to write stuff down. But there are several things that they've done so far throughout the show that are pointing to stuff that's going to happen later on. So it's interesting to me that they're giving this stuff to us early in these random moments. And then, like, for example, the other thing was... Eve's, we've talked about the Mayo explosion of health and healing in episode 4.
Her sure going Super Saiyan. That's what we've been calling.
Yeah. I like the Mayo Clinic explosion.
Okay,
myself.
well,
but
you know what?
Super Saiyan.
We each have our own.
But that's basically what we should have seen at the bottom of the river. she finally let go.
Yeah, when she breaks her block.
That's what we should have seen then. But
Maybe
we've seen it twice.
Maybe we
We've seen
will.
it there,
though.
and we saw it in the ways.
Maybe her block manifested after
we
the
talked
almost
about
burn.
that,
Yeah,
yes.
the block could have manifested after her almost burnout. Maybe like 3 seasons from now, when she is under the river, us seeing that again will be like a massive relief, because we've seen it before and it's like, oh, like at first it was like, oh man, that kind of ruined that moment. But if we have to wait and wait and wait, and the block is as annoying as it was for me in the books as it like in the show, it's going to be such a huge relief when she finally does the explosion again, So
I think the block happened in episode 4 because we see it in episode 4 when she's desperate, right? Because everybody just got slaughtered.
yeah.
And we see it again in the ways when they're about to get run over by Machin Shin, and she's freaking out. She finally just holds it back. So we got the same kind of big bubble, effect from her. So I think that's what the block is set right now.
Yeah, it could be. It's just the fact that she was able to join the link is the one thing that's kind of like granted.
It's weird that
Granted, the link is different generally, so I don't know what the rules are there, or if we'll find out what the rules are since they're different. But it's.
Well, you've heard the idea that it was an imperfect link, right? That it was Melissa performing a link that she didn't really understand how to do a link.
Exactly.
So instead of like will for participants, she's using them like Angreal and just pulling through them rather than whatever. Which is a terrifying idea in and of itself, that you can just use people as Angreal.
That is terrifying.
That's terrifying implications. But with Matt, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we saw the link earlier with Logain, right? And we saw how it should work. And then we saw Melissa doing it. We had talked about this when we were doing the discussion of the different episodes, that she had only ever reached accepted level, if that, based on being royalty and going to the tower to study and then coming back. So yeah, she wasn't trained in that. She just knew the mechanics of it, but like you said, she completely did it wrong.
For sure.
Circling
back to
Theoretical
Matt.
versus practical knowledge.
Sorry, we gotta go back to Matt.
Andrew, what were you gonna say about Matt?
So with Matt, because the Matt we have in the TV show is very intrinsically different. It's a very much darker, emo, My Chemical Romance Matt than we got in the books.
I chimed in. Sorry.
Right.
Forget it.
Let's Panic at the Disco.
Same vibes. Like, dear God.
What app? But oh no, I am here for it. That actually is a better analogy. Yes.
See?
Panic at the Disco Matt. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. It just came to me,
No. Please, always interrupt me with Panic at the Disco. I'm fine with it. But because Matt has this kind of intrinsically more on the nose, in your face, darker side, this early on kinship and pairing between Matt and Tom, and especially if we get Tom back and Tar Valon, I think, and I'm sure other people think we will, it could really serve to bridge the gap in Matt's character from the books and Matt's character moving forward in the character development in the show. Because the Matt we need kind of moving forward from the kind of healing-ish saga, or not saga, but section of the books, isn't the Matt we have right now. There has to be something that comes in that makes Matt, much like Oliver does later on, way later on, makes Matt a better person. So maybe Tom is that early crux of character development that Matt will get to bring him closer to the Matt we're used to from the books.
I love that. Guidance counselor Tom is one of my favorite concepts for season 2. So these are the things that we want to see.
Picture Tom is Captain America. So you got detention.
He's sits on a bed. Well, and we even got stool Tom, right? He comes up with his guitar, but now he's just leaning forward, so you got detention. So you got captured by the Red Aja. Sorry, I gotta stop.
In one hand, guitar in the other.
Literally, he's holding it. Yeah, that could work. That could work.
So basically, each of the male characters, because I'm trying to think of the female characters. So Matt get Tom as a mentor. Perrin gets Elias as a mentor. Eventually, Rand gets Lan as kind of a mentor, plus a million other freaking people. But So yeah, I mean, it's like they each got their own little private tutoring service.
Well, not to mention like Moraine and Catswain, like
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
like those are his like
Rand
primary
gets,
mentors.
Rand gets a lot more later on. Yes. I mean, he learns from everybody. He learns from Bane and and everybody.
Immense cosmic
Bane,
mentor
what's his
source.
face?
Itty bitty paying attention space.
So now, who would the female characters get as mentors though? 'Cause even in the books, they were kind of on their own for
I think
a
that's
long time,
kind of the
with
point.
the exception of Egwene getting the wise ones.
I do love the wise
Yeah.
ones. Oh my god. Well, and Egwene starts with Moraine. She's teaching her how to channel. There's that. Nynaeve is
But that's kind of
always
short-lived though.
on her own by
It's really
choice.
short-lived.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I think the girls are often left up to their own devices, or they're relying on their friendship with each other for support, which is kind of a nice thing, you know. Like I like.
Makes them stronger characters because
Yeah.
you don't need no stinking mentors.
Well, I think people.
Well, we learned about Elaine's retrospectively as we learn more about Morgaze and Lenny.
And Gareth Bryn,
That's true.
kind of.
And Gareth Bryn.
Yeah,
Very true.
like-
And to a mostly good, but sometimes very shudderingly no, please God, no extent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nim
That was
Heathrell has a
another
good point.
second.
Swan for Egwene. She was at least like a confidant, which is helpful. Like, granted, Egwene was like in a higher station than her at the time, but she at least gave her guidance, like someone who had been there, which makes the final book that much more devastating, given what happens with both of them.
I don't know, Winespring. What do you think
About what?
about all of this? I don't know.
Anything pop
What do you
up?
think about the mentorships?
Who's your favorite mentor in the Wheel of Time? Like, just generally, like, who gives you like?
Think about the mentorships. There's always value to it, but trusting your gut definitely seems to be the route I
Which is
would
Nynaeve.
press.
That is Nynaeve.
That is Nynaeve.
For sure. Nynaeve needs no mentors. She's got the best gut.
She's got her braid. She's got her braid.
Yeah.
Listens to her braid.
And her love for land.
Yes.
And her love for Lan. Yeah.
I wish. They're not going to explain it away, which there's really no reason to explain the change in what Matt looks like, right? Just like in Star Wars, they never explained the deal with Luke Skywalker, why his face changed from one movie to the other. He was in I think a motorcycle accident or something.
Oh, is
or
that
a car-
why? I assume he
Yeah.
got just like plastic surgery. Oh.
No, he was in an accident that he ended up getting plastic surgery to fix his face, but that's why he changed. But I don't think they would have to explain it for Matt. We know that there was a change in actor. We get that. My thing is, and I know they're not doing the ageless thing with the Aes Sedai. I was thinking, like, would they bring? I doubt they'll bring in different characters. I don't think they're even going to play that route where Swan and Leanne become younger once they get stilled. I don't think they're going to do that, but
I don't think so either.
yeah, I really wish they had gotten the agelessness thing down, but I can see where it would be painfully hard to do on with CGI or with anything. Really, it would be really hard to pull off.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna de-age them for sure. I mean, I've heard some people say that they're just gonna kill them, but I would hate that, especially I feel bad to say about saying this, but like if we lost Liana, then fine. Or Leanne. God, why can't I remember how we say her name in the audio? But if we lost Swan, that would be a real big bummer, because I feel like, first of all, Sophie Okonedo's amazing. Second of all, that romantic relationship between Moraine and her is so gorgeous, beautiful, like inspirational, whatever, and I would hate for that to end.
I think they've set her up as too high and powerful a person to kill off, because they've set her up as being just everybody fears her, that having her stilled and just becoming bottom of the barrel as far as Aes Sedai would be a really interesting contrast, and would be really good for the show, because it would show the fall from grace and all that stuff, and that way she can maneuver her way into helping Egwene later on. So I don't think they would kill her off. Leanne, I don't know. We haven't really seen shit of her except for her banging
The staff.
the non-teardrop staff, which pissed me off.
I think this will get us back on track since we're not talking about Matt. But Danaluhu says, I want zero mention of the change in Matt's actor. What do you think? I
100%.
agree. Just, it happened, and that's it. I do know, I actually was talking to some coworkers today because I had to go into the office about the show, and they didn't know that Matt had been recast. And they were both very sad about it. But I mean, they'll notice. The first episode pops up and we've got a new Matt. They're gonna figure it out, and that's just gonna be how it is. You know, you get used to that. That happened in Game of Thrones. Granted, in Game of Thrones, it was like two completely different looking people, and in this, they're like at least, you know, similar looking. Like,
let's just not even acknowledge it. Let's just be like,
I
what
don't
are you
even
talking
remember
about?
what the first
same guy
looked like.
It's the same guy. What do you mean?
I think the worst thing they could do is, yes, one, mention it or try to work it into the story. I was thinking about if they did that, how could it possibly be worse? And to me, it was like, if he goes back to Tarvalon, they realize he's still got some of, you know, Mashadar mouth in him, and when they finally pull it out of him,
That's what he looks like?
Features. Yeah, that's what he looks like, and I'm like, that would be so bad. That would be so horrible.
That's what I was hoping for at first, and now I'm like, I don't know. Like, one thing they could do is, like, Matt looked rough a few times in season 1. Like, they could make Donnell, like, they could give him the bags, they could, like, put a hood on him constantly, you know, and, like, establish with him looking really bad, like, but, like, kind of hard to see. They can establish, like, this is Matt, you know, like, Matt's back, and then eventually once he starts coming out of it, the bags go away, you know, like his skin starts clearing up, he stops wearing a hoodie, like all of a sudden this is Matt, like whatever. I mean, he had a hood on like for part of it.
Yeah. They're
So this is the
literally
Lord
gonna have
Matt
to go,
transformation.
Yeah, they're literally going to have to go back and refilm shots if they do any flashbacks, like going back to the Two Rivers or whatever. They're going to have to probably do some kind of reshooting for sure. Because you can't have going to a flashback with Barney Harris there.
I mean, they could deep fake it, but that would be kind of like, ooh. That would not be good. Probably.
Yeah, that would suck bad.
Like the face singing filter for portraits.
Literally. That's one option.
That's all they need. TikTok filters will save the production flashback.
Easy. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to get Donald's face and I'm going to use it for reface. I'm gonna create some memes.
put him on Matt gifts.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That could be good.
This is your face before you get rid of Mashadar.
Put him on
Face
Xena.
after you get rid of Mashadar.
Put him on Xena.
Xena,
We
Warrior
like
Princess.
to do that with Xena, so I would love to like.
You want Donald on Xena?
Why not?
I do want Donald on Xena.
I think that would be
I'm
fabulous.
here for it.
I'll give you a few. See what happens.
Just a little casual
I don't have
Xena.
a problem with it.
But do you change anything about Gabriel? I was thinking of the TV show, the Xena Warrior Princess.
I never watched
Change
it.
anything about
you mean
Gabe?
Gabrielle?
Gabrielle.
Oh,
I said Gabriel, and I was like,
who's that?
Yes, the
Who's
angel
that?
Gabriel is definitely in the show. Yes.
Gabrielle. I wouldn't change anything on Gabrielle. I think she's perfect.
Wow.
I think they're both perfect.
I love Gabrielle.
Lucy Lawless is
Lucy Lawless was amazing too. But yeah.
fantastic actor.
Maybe she'll show up as an Aes Sedai in the Wheel of Time.
What I would love to see is,
Don't do that, Critter.
What?
Don't give me hope.
I'm sorry. It could be fun. I'm just saying.
Don't give me hope.
Claudia Black is an Aes Sedai.
I
don't know if you know who that is.
I need to look that
Claudia
up.
Black. She was in Pitch Black, and she was also Pitch. What was that movie with Vin Diesel?
Pitch Black. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pitch Black, and she was also in one of the later Stargate shows. What was the one where they were in space and they had the little puppet, in the living ship, Farscape? She was also in Farscape.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a great actress. A lot of sci-fi.
That's a great one.
Sorry, I was like, we're talking about Matt. So, for the last little bit of the stream, because we're almost.
Wait, what's the line he's saying here? What's the line he's saying?
That's not how roads work.
Cold.
No, I think in this one he's saying, "Oh, so we're funny now."
Oh man, I thought that was that's not how roads work. That's what I thought. Damn it.
That's
I will say,
Lawless as a Forsaken.
we talked about differences.
Oh,
The
such a good character.
similarities they've kept and like aged up for a more modern audience. The clapbacks, like the whole
Yes.
"Hey Rand, you're not wrong. I get it, but my lady does shoot fireballs, so try not to anger her."
Yeah, he's got some great lines. Great lines.
I think
But my lady does.
shoot fireballs. Even though he was only in 6 episodes, he was I think he was my favorite male character because he made me laugh so hard, like in so many different scenes. His humor was just fabulous, and
nobody was safe when he tells Lan, "You haven't said." He goes, "I think that's the most words you've said."
literally, like nobody's safe. I don't know. He
doesn't care.
I hope Donald's got that little bit of like dry humor, like that spark, and I'm sure he will. They wouldn't have picked him if he didn't. So I'm just curious to see what he brings to the humor of Matt, and I need the humor of Matt back because he's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's just
gonna be
amazing.
cute on the screen.
Stop! I really liked Barney, and but I am excited to see Donald.
We haven't gotten an overshare today, so I'm just gonna put that out there.
I told you about Almost Heroes. How is that not like a little tangent?
Is that an overshare? Does that count as an overshare?
I
It wasn't
fe-
a personal overshare.
I feel like it's a tangent thing. Okay, well, fine. Here we
fine.
go. If you haven't seen my TikTok today, I will tell you a personal story that no, this is insane. So I went home this weekend, and I found out from my parents that my dad and my brother helped apprehend a criminal that was on the run, and they are not law enforcement officers. Turns out there were these two guys who robbed like a convenience store or something. They were on the run. One of them got caught by police officers. The other one was on the loose. And they knew that they were on the loose really close to my parents' farm. So all the neighbors are like calling each other back and forth like, "Oh my gosh, you got to keep an eye out for these guys." And my parents, my brother, his wife, and their kids, who are like tiny, like 2 years and whatever, like 3 years, they were all they were all at the farm. And they watched like all Saturday. Like my dad and my brother were like standing like vigil, like looking for this guy, like sentries at this house. And because it's a farm, so there's like huge fields, like extending, and they're like watching all the fields out the back. It's called a holler. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but a holler so they're watching the holler and they're watching the field.
South Carolina, come on.
I'm just saying. So nothing happens on Saturday, so they lock everything down and then come back out and they're like fishing or whatever. And my dad's on Sunday. My dad's still watching because he's like freaking out. And my mom spots somebody across the field, right? She's like, I think she texts my dad maybe so it wouldn't spook the guy. My dad flags my brother down. My brother goes and gets a gun. My dad gets their side-by-side, which is like a glorified golf cart, basically, if you're not familiar. And they drive out. The picture of my dad and my brother. They're big dudes, right? So if you saw them coming, you'd be like, shit. So this guy sees them coming and starts running. And he runs to this bridge, which is close, but it's like on the road right outside of their land. And they lose sight of him. So they're like looking around this bridge. My dad walks off in another direction and spots him. So my dad starts like running and he yells at my brother. And my brother starts running too. And my dad was like, "Get the side-by-side. Like, what are you doing?" Like, whatever. So my brother grabs the side-by-side, picks my dad up. My dad saw this guy dive in a patch of like really tall grass in this field. And so they drove over there and they just like couldn't see him. They were like looking and trying to find him. And my dad sees this thing that he thinks is a burlap sack piece. It's just like this tiny little thing in this pile of grass. He doesn't think anything of it. And then he sees a shoelace. And so he tells the guy, like, "I see you. We've got a gun. Like, get up," or whatever. The guy doesn't move. He's just like, he thinks my dad's vision is based on movement, basically, and so he's not. It's a T-Rex tactic.
It's a T-Rex, yeah.
And so, so my dad, he's 6'4", like 2 something. He like reaches down, picks the guy up. Like, and then sits him on the grass and sits on him. Like, he sits on his butt. So, like, he's just, like, holding him down because I guess my mom called the cops. And the guy's, like, complaining or whatever. And so my dad eventually lets him up. He makes him take the pocket knives out of his house. But the funny thing is they have a neighbor, like, far away. This guy pulls up in a truck And my dad doesn't recognize him. He's like, "Oh, I'm the son-in-law of the neighbor." And Dad's like, "Oh, you're good people. Come on over here." Whatever. And so the guy goes to the back of his truck and pulls out an AK-47, like an AR. He literally, like, he's got this, And so my brother, I think, has like a pistol, but this guy's standing there, like, watching while my dad's like holding this like little dude, because my dad's like 6'4". This guy's he's probably like $120. You know what I mean? And my dad's just like standing there next to him. And he described it, and he said like the guy kind of like looked over his shoulder, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna run." So anyways, that the cops came, and they were like, "What up, Fred?" or whatever the guy's name was, because I guess this guy's like a lifetime criminal. And they take him in the car, and they thank my dad and my brother, and then they leave. I don't know. So here's your personal story. Thank you all for, sorry, everybody who's leaving from this story. Mom did call 911. I am not happy about this. Never would I advocate for what they did. That guy was really far away in a field. I would have called the police and not chased them. But you know what? It's my dad and my brother, and they were feeling vigilantized that day. And by God, they caught him. So that's my personal story. Let's get back to
Thank you for sharing.
My redneck heart loves your family. Every bit of my redneck heart.
Yeah.
We get it. We all get it.
So good.
We're something else over in southern Missouri. What can I say?
Mama Kritter. Look, Mama Kritter stories from the holler.
I told you, people will watch.
Stories from the holler.
What are my stories? Normally my stories is my family being the ones running from the
I actually have like a second cousin who robbed banks, so like I've got them both. Like I've got both sides. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the stream, kind of. So if anybody has any further thoughts about Matt, think about it while I make the second announcement of the night. Okay, this is really exciting. The Wheel and Chill show, the Tuesday night before JordanCon, whatever that is. I can't remember.
19th.
The 19th. We have the innkeeper himself, Mr. Matt, coming on to play a face-off trivia match against me. So this is gonna be crazy. Tavern and Winespring are gonna put the questions together. I think they're gonna get progressively harder. According to the innkeeper, he's bad at trivia, and I know I'm bad at trivia, so it's gonna be a bit of a shit show. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Those are the best.
It is a JordanCon hype episode because a lot of us will be flying to JordanCon that week. So it's like just kind of like a little teaser before things kick off. Everybody, please cheer for me and send me good vibes, because I'm gonna need them. Because again, like I could, in like the Wheel and Chill setting, if I have all the time in the world to come up with the things, I'll remember a lot. But if I'm like in trivia and it's like down to the wire, I'm just like, who's Rand? Like Randy, like I'm terrible at it. So
I will say if anyone in the chat has a question that they would like to submit, it has to do with trivia. Okay, we're going to do 2 rounds, just so you know. There's 4 rounds altogether, right? So 5 questions each round. 2 rounds will be book trivia, and 2 rounds are going to be show trivia. So if you have a trivia question that you would like to submit, I'm not going to say we're going to use it. We may or may not use it, depending on how many things we get. We're going to come up with our own as well. So if you just send it to myself or Winespring, do not send them to Kritter.
Yeah, don't send it. Or you could. I mean, you could. But
no, that would be cheating.
No, I am
insider trading.
I am very against cheating. I would literally never.
Insider trading.
Yeah, so it should be fun. That's April 19th, says Tavern.
19th.
Yeah, the Tuesday, 2 weeks, the Tuesday before JordanCon. Get pumped. I will be scheduling it very soon. I just need to make the thumbnail, so be looking out for that. Pretty excited about it. All right, so
if it's okay, I'm going to self-promo a little bit since you brought up the innkeeper. If that's okay.
Oh, obviously. I was going to let you say like final words later, but like do it right now.
Yep.
Oh no, this is just for one specific episode. If you want to try to gauge how much Matt may be able to guess off of how long he's been a fan, we did an episode the end of March. It's episode 22 of season 3 for Black Tower Podcast, where we had Matt on and we talked about everything from how we got started with the fandom to Theoryland to beta reading. So if you're interested in that,
that's awesome.
If you're making gentlemen's agreements, because gambling is mostly illegal in the country I live in. Insider knowledge, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Very cool. Thank you.
Do it. And just so we're all clear, the YouTube, I think the website, a lot of the Black Tower Pod deets are once again in the description of the YouTube video that you're watching right now. And if you haven't yet, I forgot to mention this, like this video before you leave, if you're a real one, because it helps the stream and it's really nice. And if you do that on every Wheel of Time content creators video you come across, we will love you forever.
Oh yeah, do it.
Yes, do it. Do it, please. Do it. Okay, so
do it now.
do it now. Just do it right now. All right. So
Beat the algorithm.
yeah, we must. We must conquer any. What am I doing? Let's talk about Matt for the last 5 minutes. Any final thoughts about Perrin? Because this was a Matt and Perrin episode. Marin.
Matt with one T. Got it.
Matt with one T. Oh yes, Matt with one T. Hit us up. Last thoughts about Matt/Perrin, where they're going to go in season 2, where they're going to end up, whether they're going to blow the horn, whatever the hell you want to talk about. Is Matt evil? Give us what you think. Tavern, why don't you go first?
I do not think Matt is evil. I think, as far as blowing the horn, I'm a little nervous primarily because they are taking shortcuts with some of the characters and some of the story. I have said in the past that they have hit the plot points that they need to hit, right? So they've been on point with that. They've changed some things, like the horn got moved from the Eye of the World to underneath Agomar's throne, that kind of stuff. So there may be some changes. Perrin, I can definitely see Perrin being identified as a sniffer by the Shernans. I do think that somehow they will find their way to Falma. If not, as you've mentioned before, there'll be a split with some going to Falma, which would totally make no sense to me, and maybe Rand going to the Stone of Tyr. I don't know. I personally think he needs to be at Falma.
Yeah.
But
well, the more I hear about them being in Morocco, I'm like, okay, is he going to the Aiel Waste first, before the stone? Maybe that, I'm kind of rescinding that. I don't know if they'll do the Stone of Tyr this season.
The Morocco thing is completely ale waste.
100%.
Ale waste to me.
Yeah.
There's a super chat for you. $20 from
Holy Beth Weston.
Oh, nice.
$20 in super chat. Oh my gosh, you are a goat. Okay, great episode. Always love to support content creators. Can't wait to see you all at JordanCon and WatCon. Beth, please. Yeah. I want to say hi. I want to give you a high five. I want to give you a Wheel and Chill ribbon, which we're gonna have.
Yes.
You are amazing. Thank you so much for all you do.
And I'm gonna say, last thought on Perrin. I hope his eyes stay golden. Stay golden, Perrin.
Stay golden, Perrin.
Stay golden.
All right, Winespring. What are your last thoughts? Anything you want to say?
Last thoughts. Okay, I anticipate Matt being perfect.
Yes, naturally.
Yes.
And that's it.
She has been very succinct tonight, which is impressive.
I love the optimism.
Right to the point.
I love that. All right, Andrew. Last thoughts. Matt Perrin, Perrat, whatever we want to call him. What do you think?
Perrin.
Perrin and Odin.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see what happens with Perrin's art going forward, because this is the point in the story where Perrin really has, if you play Magic the Gathering, that opportunity to pop off. This is where Perrin starts to get to a point where he can really shine, his abilities can shine, his character arc and development can really shine, and I hope we actually see justice to that, and I have full faith that we will. Especially after the success of season 1. Matt, I agree with Tavern. Why is English so hard?
It's late. We're fine.
Yeah.
For sure.
English is hard for me every day, which is terrible.
Yeah.
I work a customer service job. It's terrible.
It makes you relatable.
Get it.
Yeah. I don't think Matt is evil. I think there are so many pieces that can work out in 3, 4, 5 different ways, to where the writer's room has either intentionally or unintentionally left this ingenious avenue for them to go in so many different directions with so many of the characters, combined with condensing down some characters, condensing down some arcs, leaving out some arcs entirely. Failgate. Sorry. But I'm excited for it. I think there is a good avenue for Matt to reunite with everybody, and I think the leaving him out of going through the Waygate necessitates that Matt has a reunion with the group or a core group is going to happen. Hopefully we don't have to wait 3 to 5 seasons for that to happen, but I'm super excited. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, they're going to have a good reason for Matt when he finally comes back to explain to them why he didn't go. Gotta be a good reason for that.
Danaluhu in the
Glad
chat.
everybody enjoys my problems with English.
Because Danaluhu in the chat. It could be It could be the 3 beers, Andrew. but also love you, Andrew. So just so we're all clear.
It's not. They also said it. Beth said it's not English. It's American.
Oh,
So,
he's American.
You're right.
we speak American.
Not American.
All right, so last words I gave to myself because I'm selfish, and sorry about that. I guess
Go hard, girl.
what can I say? I was kind of the same vibes as Andrew. Like, I really want more Perrin in season 2, and I want season 2 to be Matt forward and Perrin forward, because we didn't get as much Matt in season 1, and Perrin, even though he was there the whole time, he was the weakest, probably, like, plot-wise of all the characters. Like, he didn't get much to do. And so I want him to have stuff to do. I love Marcus Rutherford. I think he's a great Perrin. And I want to see him kind of flex his muscles in more ways than one. His acting muscles. And, like, we could see a little blacksmithing. We could have him meet Fael. We could see him with an axe again. We could see him get trained up by Elias. There are so many opportunities to make his arc great in season 2. And that's what I got my fingers and toes crossed for. And you all know that I love Matt, so I can't wait to see how Donald does. And very excited for Jordan Con. Extremely excited for WatCon. If you don't have your passes yet for WatCon, those are still available. That's July 7th through 10th. It's going to be a hella good time. Although I understand that if you did just back the Brandon Sanderson Kickstarter and are short in cash, you've got a ways still that you can buy your tickets. But just don't wait too long, because it's.
I think he sabotaged you guys on purpose.
Nah, because we've got a ways. Like, it's July. So I hope to see a ton of you there at JordanCon. I hope to see a ton of you at our Trivia versus the Innkeeper stream in 2 weeks. And we will let you know if we're streaming again next week. We don't have a topic yet, but if we think of one, then we will absolutely be back. So, yeah. Yep. That's it.
And not to promote WatCon any further, but it does end 5 days before my birthday, so...
Presents for Andrew.
5 days before Andrew?
Yeah.
Just saying.
The last person that gave me a present gave me that over there.
Oh.
An original print of one of the... Here.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I was totally trying to see
that. Little news?
I couldn't see shit.
Oh, that's so cool.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that.
Agenora and Bill's dating app. Sorry.
And in the words of the creative talent, defaced by the creator himself.
Nice, Rob.
I love it.
That is Rob Christensen. So
that's amazing.
I will be 29, Beth.
You whippersnapper. Okay, like this is like one more year, and then we're hitting the 30. I don't know what that is. Like golden age. I'm not sure. Either way.
Yeah. 30. Your presence is present enough.
30, flirty, and thriving was the catchphrase for mine. But anyway, even though I was married, but it's fine. Okay, guys, that's that. Jessica said I gonna awkward squee to meet you all at JCon and WatCon. Let's just all say in advance, like, please don't be shy. Like, I don't know what all of you look like necessarily. I'll say hi for sure, but if you tell me like who you are, then we can like totally vibe about Wheel and Chill and all this.
Please do that.
Yeah, please do that. I would love to meet you all. Yeah.
If I do make it to WatCon, I'm gonna have a shirt with Critter's face on it.
Cool.
I'm just kidding. That way you know who I am.
Avatar or actual face?
No, I'm just gonna take a picture of her and just slap it on the shirt.
Can I have it too? Can I have one too?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, and this is a lovely way to end this stream. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Snakes and Foxes, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Andrew, we'll have to have you back, because this is the last time you were on my stream was like 1,000 years ago. We did a meme, Try Not to Laugh meme stream, and it was super fun. So it's
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was a long.
Anytime, just let me know.
Will do. Okay, well, thank you all for being here. This was lovely. We're going to sign off now, but you guys are the best, and we'll see you soon.